Hello, fellow YouTubers and fellow beer lovers, and Happy New Year! Happy 2018. It's happening here in just another 3-4 hours, depending on where you live. And I'm here tonight to, I'm donning my New Year's Eve hat, even though I'm not sure it's my most attractive look. But you know, the alternative was the New Year's tiara, and I decided I'd go with this one instead. So tonight I'm going to be trying out. Actually, I'm gonna be testing out my latest article of drinkware, and this is a new favorite. It's a Christmas present from one of my very best friends and best drinking buddies and fellow scout leaders, Darwin. And it's a kind of a Renaissance fair style mug, and this is Surly Darkness. You might recognize that. Surly is a major, a highly rated Minnesota microbrewery, one of the early comers to the scene here in the Twin Cities. They actually are famous for Surly's Law, which actually allowed, they petitioned the state legislature and got the laws changed so that brew pubs could actually serve beer on their premises here in Minnesota for the first time. And I guess that might have been a decade ago or so. And good for them and good for us. So you know, here's to Surly's, which is where my buddy Darwin bought this for me at the relatively new, really nice, expanded Surly's Brewery and Brew Pub in Minneapolis. So today we're going to try out, oh actually I wasn't going to try out this Goose Alt beer. I was going to try out another there it is. Yeah, I really want to try out this Goose Island Brewing Oatmeal Stout. They've gone now to their new branding. They instead of saying Goose Island, it just says Goose Oatmeal Stout. Now, I'll tell you what, I really like stouts, and apparently I especially like oatmeal stouts. Now, up until recently, I didn't really pay that much attention to the difference between a regular stout and an oatmeal stout. However, in the past, I've really enjoyed Samuel Smith's chocolate oatmeal stout. Now, this is just it's Goose Island Oatmeal Stout. And let's go ahead and give that a try, and we'll see how it compares to the others, all right? Now, you can see it's a very dark beer. Again, they typically are almost black, but very dark brown. And the heads can vary. The head I can see is quite light colored and frothy. Normally I do tastings from glassware so that you can hold it up and you can see right through. You can determine the exact color and other characteristics, you know, as for the appearance. Okay, in this case, I'm breaking with tradition so I can try out this prized piece of drinkware that I got for Christmas from my buddy. So let's see what it smells like. You know, I smell the malt, of course. Maybe a bit of coffee. and generally speaking, it smells like a stout. Now, what I didn't talk about last time is that stout, the term for stout, what it really refers to is the stoutest or strongest of porters. Okay, so that's your difference between porter and stout. If you may have noticed that porters and stouts seem very similar, they look alike, they smell alike, they taste alike. The difference is just that the stouts are generally stronger in the same class of beer, or the same style, really. Okay, stronger in alcohol content. Okay, so we'll see what it tastes like. You know, this really does solidify my my recent uh, my recent discovery that I really appreciate a good oatmeal stout among stouts, among porters. And you know, one thing that I learned recently that I wasn't aware of before is that what makes an oatmeal stout, is that the brewer, the brewmaster, adds oatmeal, actual oatmeal, to the mash during the brewing. Okay, and what, you may ask, does that do? What does that produce? What's the outcome? Well, the oats add two main things. Okay, to the mouthfeel, it adds an additional sense of smoothness, or even silkiness. It's quite it. You know, it's interesting how texture affects your experience. It makes it actually makes it seem like it tastes better. Okay, that's my 2 cents. I'm gonna try it again. Yeah, the mouthfeel is excellent. It's exquisite. It's just not only is it smooth and silky, this particular recipe is also particularly um, carbonated. It's got a real good fizzy mouthfeel, and I'm gonna try some more. The other major component of oatmeal stouts that the oatmeal adds is that it adds an additional sweetness to the beer. So the flavor becomes exceptionally sweet comparative to other stouts and porters. And other beers for that matter, unless they're flavored. Well, I'll tell you what, that is a delicious beer. I'm liking me some oatmeal stouts, and I've been a long time fan of Goose Island out of the Chicago area, and even before they were distributing here in Minnesota, I'd picked some up when I was going through Chicagoland when I was visiting my wife's relatives down in Ukrainian Village, and that's some good stuff. They make they put out some good multi packs, so it's fun to try. You know, numerous varieties that they put out. So anyway, without I don't want to delay your ability to enjoy the New Year's festivities. I would enjoin you to sit down with a with a good beer or two or more, with a good friend or loved one or two or more, and raise your glass to the new year. And I especially wish for all my viewers that 2018 would be a really, really wonderful year. I raise my glass to your health, your prosperity, and your happiness. Cheers.